University and Research Foundation of India, in association with Parul University and Eklavya University, and sponsored by RFI-CARE. And the topic of our today's session is tips for conducting group discussion as innovative teaching systems for us to guide with this valuable knowledge. But before we start, I would love to share about our first achievement. Dr. Krunal Soni sir is an associate professor of finance and accounting at School of Management, GSFC University, Vadodara. Sir has a total of 10 years of experience in academics and 3 years of industrial experience. In sir's qualification, it includes BBA in finance, MBA in finance, and qualified Gujarat set in management, PhD in management, diploma in foreign exchange and risk management, postgraduate diploma in research and methodology, and BCom in accounting and taxation. Sir has a total of 24 publications in various reputable journals like Scopus, ABDC, UGC Care, Web of Science, etc., including a patent in Government of India under the Intellectual Property Right Act 1970, and for which he had received the loyalty grant for his innovation in finance on the topic called Techno Innovation and Growth of Indian Share Market. Sir had received 3 Best Research Paper Award in various international conferences organized by different academic institutions sponsored by UGC and AICTE. Sir was awarded with the Best Faculty of Management Department at Parul Institute of Management, Parul University, Vadodara, and Sir had been invited 20 plus times by various business schools, UGC, HRDCs, and research institute across India as a part of the resource person and session chair on the various topics for research, data analysis tools and techniques, entrepreneurship skills, and ICT tools. SAR delivers a training on the different analytical software like SPSS, AMOS, Smart PLS, eViews, Advanced Excel, R Program, etc. SAR has attended more than 20 plus faculty development program arranged by the IIM Ahmedabad, IIM Visakhapatnam, Ministry of Human Resource Development, Vadodara Management Association, and many more. Sir has presented more than 19 research papers at various national and international conferences across India and USA, along with 17 seminars and workshops. So, with this valuable knowledge, I would I would like to I would like to request Sir to hold the platform and guide all of us with his valuable knowledge. So, please, Sir, welcome and hold the footpath. Now, the platform is yours.
So thank you, Nikita, madam, for the introduction, and let's begin. Just confirm the slide share is visible to you.
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Okay, yeah, thank you. So, good evening, all of you. So, the topic for the today's discussion is one of the innovative teaching learning pedagogy that we use in academics, that is group discussion that we have to carry forward. So there are many reasons and many purpose for which the group discussion practice have been followed, in academic institutes and as well as corporates also. So as far as the group discussion parameters is concerned, there are many reasons why group discussion techniques is considered to be one of the innovative teaching right, because Sometimes if we want to evaluate the capability of the candidates, right? Even if you are looking for the recruitment at the corporate, the students before allocating some duties and works, to proceed further, it is very important to check them at all the parameters. So that's where the group discussion techniques will help you out to carry forward this work for our institute and for the corporate. So bright students that we have it, but the brightness will always shine when it has some expression, and that power will only come out when the students and the candidate to the society, because ultimately whatever things we are discussing, if it is not acceptable from the societal point of view, that will not go into the market. So it is very important that whatever students are gaining the knowledge, they should be expressive in terms of the applicability portion of this particular topic, to evaluate those kind of students and candidates who have the real potential to make them in a real time application, right? Because ultimately this is going to be work for all of us. So real time application of this fundamental academic institute group discussion techniques is one of the important part. So with that consideration, let me begin my presentation. So in this particular presentation of group discussion, and gradually we will look forward for the various important features of the group discussion as and when we are following it. Once we understand about the various criteria for the selection process in group discussion, right? But at the one point of time, it is our limitations also that we have to make some filtering, right? So those filterings are going to be applied based on certain criteria. We also need to understand that is, as a part of selection process. That is one of group discussion. Then we also need to understand of group discussion as and when we are proceeding for the group discussion. We need to understand what are the basic parameters, which are important of group discussion. Why corporates and academic institutes are taking group discussion as one of the important criteria for selection, and many much parameters, right? Why they are following group discussion as one of the important criteria for the selection procedure and quality and calibers of the students, right? So one of the important part, like we have to understand the benefit discussing academic institutes, right? While academic institutes are focusing and imposing much more importance to have the group discussion as one of the great practices in a particular institute. So that is what is, reasons for group discussion in academic institute. Then we also have to see the do's and don'ts of group discussion, right? So whoever is taking such kind of practices as a part of or corporate level, then we also have to set certain parameters, which is called rules and regulations, that every mentor, every controller of the group discussion has to follow as a part of these practices. Important methods which are falling into the market as a part of group discussion, that is also the part for the today's presentation. And finally, we will conclude what sort of learning pedagogy as a part of group discussion. group discussion. So let's begin. Group discussion is, we all are well aware that we are conducting such kind of practices in a group where certain kinds of people will come together to discuss a topic. That could be depends upon the area, and the reason we have to check the knowledge of the students and candidates for the particular topics on attending a group discussion. So obviously, it is one of the mode for the evaluation criteria practice among the students, right? Say that it is a communication, and we are arguing and we are putting our opinion in front of the people, and we are also receiving the output from the group, or say our subordinates, what are their thinking power, what is their opinion for the discussion on the topic. At the same time, they communicate with each other with the mindset and the opinion that they are carrying with them on that topic. So usually the ranges for the group discussion rise on the 5 to 15 members comes together to check specific parameters, to check the knowledge. Suppose if any organization wants to go for the recruitment process, and they are specifically meant for checking the knowledge of certain candidates on certain topics. So the area of domain for which the expertise they are looking for into the market, right? So this is called the one of the topic for the group discussion for the members of the groups, right? Under which they'll come to know the basic understanding, knowledge about the particular area for which they're looking for. And finally, they will scrutinize the person by having the personal interviews also after checking on the group discussion. So this is how this entire practices is going to be followed. Then the primary purpose of having the group discussion is to exchange the ideas, shared opinions, and collectively explores that. They also shared their opinions in terms of certain facts and figures on the particular topic, which is available from the various sources and authentic agencies. And collectively, they explore various aspects on the given topic, means they will come out with innovative ideas. Then group discussions are commonly used in various settings, such as academic institutes, recruitment process, and professional development programs. Even if we go for certain orientation program, refreshment programs, right, refresher courses, where this kind of technique is a part of evaluating parameters, right? So they also definitely they are going to use this particular method as a part of evaluating techniques. So group discussion is considered to be one of the important parameter era, right? One of the important pedagogy for all the academic institutes and corporates to evaluate their candidates on the various parameters. And that's why, as I said, the capability of the or candidates, right? So this is what all about features of the group discussion. So first is the topic or theme, very important, because the particular environment, or the theme will create atmosphere, right? I should select my topic in such. I, being a controller of group discussion, I need to ensure that the topic should be such that it should not hurt the sentiment any part of societies, and it should see as the important aspect is the area or domain which the title in such a way that it should come out with some content will be created of the topic or topic and theme selection should be done very cautiously and very minutely so that the justification on the part of the should come out on a fruitful manner. So that is one of them of the moderators or facilitator. Right. So we being a moderator, being a facilitator, we have to take utmost care, of group discussion also, right? Stay on track and we have to manage time, right? So we being a moderator and facilitator, we have to give importance on the proper and even if it goes out of the track, we have to get back into the track and we have to control our audience. It should not create a chaos. And lastly, we have to take into consideration that it should not go out of the area of the concern. Right. So we have to stop our candidates in between if they are going out of the track. So we being a facilitator, moderator, has to take utmost care. Will be able to manage the overall flow of the group discussion. Then time limit. So obviously time frame is very much important because we are not here to listen any words of ours. Because when we are doing those selection criteria, we should take into consideration that every candidation criteria are concerned. So firstly, we have to take care that we should be in the position that we should allow every candidate to speak at least for 1 or 2 minutes as a part of their opinion in the group discussion. And that's why I have mentioned that if we are taking 5 to 15, so minimum 2 to 3 minutes per candidate should be allotted as a part of overall discussion. That should be some variation high and low, but at least we should ensure that everyone should speak at least a while so that we can notice personal person's characteristics in terms of the language ability that person is carrying, the knowledge ability that this person is in, the person knowledge of live demonstration of the concept, the person attitude towards this particular area in which they have to work. And all such parameters we have to take into consideration, and for that we have to restrict up to if it will go out of the track. So it is no time bound activities, and you not maintain the decency and decorum of the group discussion. So we have to restrict with the time bound activities as far as group discussion is concerned, and we have to frame it very accurately and very properly, and most importantly strictly. You have to inform each and every participants, and not only informing is important, but during the group discussion the execution of the group discussion is much more important, that this group discussion should be on track and no deviate or try to breach important. And then only we being a moderator and facilitator would be able to complete this particular practice to complete on given time frame. So yes, time limit is much more important as far as the group discussion practices is concerned, and that is how ultimately who have given the proper justification and proper shown the analytical power on the topic which we have allotted as a part of group discussion. So parameters that we have to develop as a part of evaluating the candidates during the group discussion. So one of the practice that we all have to look forward is we should evaluate our candidates on the communications the candidates is belonging. But if he don't have the holds on the language, right? So he should not be able to it. And in this today's competitive era, the communication skill is need of an hour that every candidate has to respect. So they cannot avoid this particular parameter, even if they are knowledgeable, right? So communication skills, the domain knowledge, the subject of expertise should be checked based on some of the examples, right? So this is how the analytical thinking should be there. Problem solving abilities, live practical scenario where we forced the candidates to provide the proper justification or solution on the particular topics or area for which we are looking for understanding and knowledge of the topic. So this is called problem solving abilities among the candidates that we all have to see to it. Leadership qualities, we also have to check the leadership qualities among the candidates that we have to look forward. Qualities doesn't mean, sometimes candidates are carrying misinterpretation as far as the leadership qualities are concerned. Many a times candidates are carrying a wrong impression that leader means who will be discussion. Obviously it creates some part of or facilitator, but not come out with the right kind of solution and critical thinking and ability power, then the entire discussion will going to be null and void. So this is very bad impression in the minds of the candidates that leadership quality means I will start the group discussion. Obviously one has to start, but even to respond and even to respect the other candidates group during the group discussion is one of the important parameter of group discussion. It has been said in the management that you being a analytical person, you being a smart manager, first of all you have to develop the ability to listen others, right? So you should be a good speaker, you should be a good speaker, but at the same time you should be a good listener, but at the same time you should be a good speaker also, right? So listening and understanding ability is also one of the part, and it is a good characteristics of the leaders, right? And so you are not going to judge based on your knowledge or initiation discussion, but your evaluation should be based on how you are responding to the opinions of other candidates also, right? So not every time you are pinpointing or you are disobeying somebody's arguments. Obviously you should have the right out to tackle those arguments, right? Here you are here to give your opinion, but that should be some specific way out to deal with the situation of anyone, right? So leadership qualities and teamworks will work together, where only the criteria is not to evaluate you on the basis of the initiation that you are carrying, but at the same time, how you are responding. This is one of the important parameter of group discussion and evaluating. And every companies and every individual academic institutes are looking for this among their students or in the candidates. The important part, if it has been set in the given time frame, so you have to obey these rules and regulation very politely and particularly in line with the rules and regulation, right? So this is just one example of rules and regulations that I'm telling you. So So abiding to the group regulations during the group discussion is must, and that's why avoid the interruption in between. As I said, if one person is speaking during his allotted time period, so you should not keep your opinion, bombarding on others at a time that the time frame is allotted to other candidates. Right? So you should respect the candidates also. So we are not here to hurt anyone. We are just here to have the healthy discussion. We are not here to hurt anyone. We are just here to have the healthy discussion. But this discussion should be go on very healthy manner, and it should not be hurt and carry a misimpression in the minds of others. So we being a candidate, we also have to see to it. So it is very important that before going to attempt any sort of group discussion participation, we should keep these things into the mind so that we can participation. Then second aspect is active participation is must, obviously, because group discussion is here and arrange for the participants to express their opinion with very enthusiastically, but that enthusiastically should be go on to the very positive manner, as I told in the earlier discussion. So we being a moderator and facilitator, as I said, that we are here to evaluate each and everyone. So that everyone should get a chance to speak and express their opinion on the topic which we have given. Right? Sometimes when it goes to the wrong environment, and sometimes when it goes to the wrong environment, this kind of people will usually try to avoid their giving their opinions in this particularly it is happening in the for the discussion for the selection purpose. So many people doesn't feel disrespect, disregards. Right, it is okay if at this level it is not much more problematic. Moderator and facilitator have to create such an environment that everyone should get the equal opportunity and chance to speak on the topics. Right, especially when we are conducting such kind of practices for the higher level authorities. Right, because otherwise we moderators and facilitators are fail carrying a wrong image in the minds of the candidates. Right, so even candidate will also judge the moderator and facilitator. So even to become a moderator and facilitator of the group discussion practices, before that you should have at least attempted few group processes so that you are in the better position to control all such activities and carry out the must. And it is a responsibility of the moderator that every person should get the equal chance of opportunity to speak. Decision making. So as I said, the moderator and facilitator are controlling the entire activity. So sometimes it might happen that they might have to interrupt out of the control. Right, so it is a collective efforts and collectively this is going to be process. So ability to work towards a common understanding or resolution is the key aspect of group discussion, right? So if this group discussion is going on the common understanding and resolution, then there is no problem. But if it is going out of the track and trying to make an hit on the personal level, then moderator and facilitator has to interrupt in between and this particular process. So this is not the things that is written in any books or something, but this is obviously the natural practices that the evaluating teaching learning pedagogy of the group discussion as a part of learning pedagogy. Because one brain can work less in comparison to the many brains, right? So when we consider ourselves that we know everything, but sometimes it might happen that we are a good speaker, it's absolutely fine, but you should also carry the role of good listener. Right, if you are a good listener, observation, and you are able to And this observation will help you to gain much more knowledge in comparison to the person who is just speaking and doing nothing. Right. So you have to observe such things, and many a time the group discussion practices, why this group discussion practices has been followed in learning pedagogy, because sometimes what happens, if we want to know something, we should go on to the internet, we have to read the articles, or we should go into the particular area or domain books where particular author has expressed their opinions on the particular topics. But when multiple people have read multiple sources, so in a single platform, within 5 to 10 minutes, we should come out with many facts and figures on the particular topic that previously we were not aware about it. Right. So group discussion is considered to be much more knowledge gaining practices by sharing the opinion and taking the opinion of the people on the particular topics. And that's how you can enhance, you can upgrade your knowledge by having the exposure of the other people's knowledge and understanding on the particular topic that we are discussing on the as a part of group discussion. So group discussion should be done on the more useful as far as their placements activities are concerned. So yes, it should be a usual practice in every B schools and other academic institutes, you know, so to develop certain skills and talents among the students, and person will help the candidates to develop, their willpower, to remove the fears in the minds that they have it. So there are many benefits that group discussion is carrying as a part of academic and teaching learning pedagogy, that it reflect among the behavior of the students after certain period of time. So yes, then we need to understand why group discussion is considered to be important criteria. So I have already cleared that it creates a thinking power, it creates understanding on the topic or subject that we are looking for. When we able to solve the problem, that means we are having the critical thinking power on the problem that we are looking for. Right. If we develop certain thinking powers, then only we are in the position to have the solving the problems. Right. So it has the solving problem thought process about the specific topic. Right. So when we are going for, even me being a facilitator, moderator, and faculties, should of the to coming generation for these particular topics that we are looking for. So even we came to know that whether this topic is gaining much more appreciated. So if you're observing this group discussion in a very authentic process, so you are in a position that definitely you should be in a position to map the area of interest of the students, and you know what senses, what Ark is sensing about this topic. If you feel during the discussion that Ark is drop the topic for the next practice. So this is one of the important criteria as a part of group discussion. Even you come to know about various skills and talents of the students, and have a much more live data demonstration from the students aspect, right? So while keeping this group discussion in the academic institute as a teaching learning pedagogy, so it helps the students to improve their communication skills. Right? What is much more important to gain and upgrade your knowledge in the coming period is you should be a good listener. You should be a good observer. Then only you can upgrade your knowledge. What is there with you, it is always there with you forever. But what is not with you, you are a good listener, and good listener will always sharpen their knowledge, and always hit on the things which is required at a point of time, right? So yes, you should be a good listener. It boosts the confidence of speaking. Many students are struggling, if they and they try to avoid to come out on in front of the public, of people and speaking in terms of English language, because if they are from the vernacular language, because we are having multiple languages, to drag them into the right track, and provide them the platform to speak, and how they can come out with the confidentiality, right? So many a times it happens that students are very sharpened in terms of the knowledge, but they regret and rebuild their abilities and come out with the more strongly into the market. And it helps to change the overall perspective of the students, that is attitudes, right? Many a times it happens that if you don't aware about the other's opinion, or if you are not aware about the facts and figure on the particular topics, after coming having the exposure of knowledge from the different people, it might happens that it change your perspective. And that is where our role will come out, that we have to change the overall, change their attitude into the right manner. We have to change their attitude in a perspective where they can have the employability in the future. So for that, we have to remove the fears, sharpen their aggressive enough, as that they should express their opinion in front of the very caliber. They are having much caliber, much potential, and out to prove themselves, right? So this is how the gradual practice, but it should not be one time. It is educational institute, in every subject this practice should be followed, so that students should build up this kind of attitudes. So this is how the process of group discussion is going on. Should be to go on this flow, then we should allow some 2 to 3 minutes to every candidate to think on this topic. And once it is over, we will start the discussion. So every candidate should jot down the important points. You must guide the candidate that they should not write each and everything in a sentence, otherwise they will miss the time frame. We should not guide them in a much more spoon feeding, but yes, when we are teaching them for the first time, it is our prime responsibility to guide them what should their role in the preparation time, right? So they should jot down the points on the topic that they want to discuss, right? So preparation time should be guided by the moderators. Then discussion will be start. Somebody will take initiative and he that open for all to discuss on the open for all. Everybody should involved, and they will also express their opinions on the topic. And lastly, once everyone has got the opportunity and of time for the discussion roughly, then finally that what is the do's and don'ts of the group discussion. So yes, somebody has to take 2 to 3 minutes to conclude, and during that time people will express their opinion. So this is do's and don'ts. When somebody is speaking, you should have the patience and you should wait for in the time frame which is allotted to have the open discussion, right? But yes, you should not be interrupt in between to the person who is speaking and has not completed his sentence, right? So this is the basic etiquettes that every student has to learn while going for the group discussion, and these are the much more important practices that every candidate should follow. So prerequisites of group discussion. So firstly, clear the and the entire discussion should be diverted on the topic only. It should not be go out of the track. Who is going to be the participants? So obviously that has to take a call by these moderators. If I'm not discussing on the if I'm discussing on the topic called or Chandrayaan 3, so my candidate should not down. Right. So depending upon the topic which we are doing it, we should also select our target audience, participants in the same domain, so that they can be a better justified person topic. Right. Because we are here to depending on the types of candidates and participants, our topic should be decided well in advance. One can say the success of every group discussion should be based on the qualities of the moderator and facilitators that they have it. If we have a good moderator and facilitator, we have the best possibilities. Rules and regulations of every group discussion should be followed by the rules and regulations. At every point of time, we have nobody should avoid the criterias and the discussion point. It should be rigorously followed, and everybody should respect the criterias that has been designed. Right. So rules and regulations inform to the candidates well in advance in terms of the specific time allotted, what should be the rules others are speaking, at what time you should start. Everything should be very predefinedly developed and informed well in advance to the person. Preparation time, we have already seen that we have to allow 2-3 minutes time to candidate think about it, so that the synergy will be created if they have the clarity and fruitful topics to discuss. Respects towards the diverse opinions of others, but you should actually taken as a personal, right? Because you are in the discussion front, you are not here to hit anyone, right? So it should not be taken as a important part that every candidate has to develop these habits. Because after group discussion, when you are going out of the room, and that every candidate has to accept it. Active participation for all the person is must. Then only the ultimate goal of the group discussion should be achieved in terms of developing certain characteristics, certain qualities, and at the same time, if you are looking for the good candidates, so if the candidate is not speaking, how can we ensure that the active participation of each and every group members is must as a part of group discussion? Evaluation criteria, we have seen it: communication skill, problem solving ability, critical thinking skills that we have to see to it. Time management, yes, we should narrow down the questions and allow them to express their opinion. So ultimately, we have to teach the candidate during the discussion. You should speak out two things in your mind which are much more important to justify your opinion. Rather than speaking everything, you should be selective. Your approach should be creating importance as a part of the discussion. Right. So this is time management number one. Feedback practice is going to be over as a part of improving in the group discussion process. So yes, we have to take the feedback from the candidates that what should be the improvement parameters, what should be the area of improvement that we are looking for. So that is, we should make them comfortable to the each and every candidates as a moderator, right? So having a live discussion possible only when we have the comfortable settings. So benefits. So as we have already discussed in a very much more sense. So just quickly go through it so it's an enhanced learning. So students enhance their learning on the specific topic on which they're discussing, the language that we are preferring at the area in which we are working. So communication skills should be evaluated. Exposures to various perspectives say that every person has a different domain knowledge. So whenever we are sitting on a common platform, so everybody will express their opinion. We should be in touch. Obviously, it should be having a various perspective, collaboration and teamwork, right? So it should be teamwork. It should be collaborative. Should not be hurt any sentiments. You should not be paying anyone during the discussion. While the discussion is going on, you should not interrupt to the person. Obviously, once you are proving yourself on particular topic and once you start defending others, it automatically built up the confidence in your own self. And whenever you are preparing that, you should speak in front of audience and express your opinion about particular things. Time management, as I said, that if 2 minutes has been allotted area and at the same time selective approach, that what should I select as part of my speaking and what should I avoid as a part of my speaking. So this is the gradual process and this will come out after multiple level of. So time management, conflict resolution skills. So if somebody has hurt by your opinion, you should have the resolution power that you should cover up the situation well manner so that what be hurting the further discussion, right? So that is one of the aspect. Knowledge sharing, obviously it is a synergetic process. Obviously knowledge is the entire of the group discussion. Leadership, yes, you will come out with the context of multiple person. If this group discussion is going between corporates, multiple different corporates, obviously you will come out in the context of multiple people who are having the knowledge in this particular domain. So you should build your capability. We are belongs to one culture, other person is belongs to one culture. So we have to respect this is also the one of the aspect. Reasons for group discussion. So obviously we have discussed multiple things, right? So having multiple having multiple development and observation things that we are looking for the candidates and students. Okay. So we have to develop certain skills. We have to manage times. We have to develop teamwork. We have to understand collaborative efforts. We have to respect the analytical thinking power, problem solving capabilities, right? So these are the multiple reasons for which we are conducting the and right, we are making them aware about the diverse this aspect. And we have candidates. So ultimately, these are the do's and don'ts during the group discussion. So proper active, colleagues it on the particular topic. So yes, initiation, allow others to speak. Most important, you should not stop others to speak. Otherwise, it is not a discussion. It is just bombarding your opinion on the others. Uh, Please mute yourself. Whose mic is open? Uh, Dr. Sonali, please mute yourself. Thank you. So, to the point discussion is must. Positive. You should be stay very cool and calm. That is the positive gestures that you are showing among the people.
पाचला 10 कमी असताना तयार राहते गेम
Uh,
बघा विचार करा.
I request Nikita madam to please interact and
Sure, so we are working.
Listen to others carefully is most important. Modulate, it should not be too low. It should be up to the mark, which is required to create a synergy and to, disseminate into the colleagues or to speak. So you should not, what should be the don't, that you should not be shy, nervous, and isolated, right? On the topic which has been allotted. Interrupting others in between, when you allowed, then you should interrupt. When you are not allowed, you should keep silent. This is the thing that don't consider and don't take it personally, right? Changing opinion in between means, if some topic is given and after listening others, you should not try to support that topic, because it shows your imbalance, right? That create a negative impression in terms of knowledge, right? That create a negative impression in terms of because you change your opinion at any point of time, which is a negative sign, that always avoid doing the group discussion. Don't make fun of the counterparty. Don't make a fun of anyone's. You should respect the positive gestures that we are showing during this discussion. Methods is topic based. We have already discussed that one topic is given to all of us. Discuss on case study. So case study is another method. So we will tell it is what should be there in the case, how the problem has been solved, what should be that this problem is in your life, how you will you solve it out. So we will take the opinion based on the practical case study which is there in our the topic and come out with innovative ideas as a part of this suggestions, right? So this is great. Role play, again, whatever discussion that we need to maintain, that we can do it by the practical application of to the audience as a part of role play. Brainstorming ideas and solution related to the discussion should be on the direction to solve the problems, right? So that is how the solutions will be come out, and this is how the free thinking and allow participants to build on each other's idea. Fishball discussion. It's a small group. Jigsaw is another the sub part of the fishball discussion. Another will discuss, but out of this big group, we will create a different small groups under which the subtopics will be allocated to each group and they will come out with the different kinds of discussion. And as a part of that, we will share the findings at the later stage to the large group of operation. We should teach the candidates how to coordinate, even if we are staying in the organization, in the different department. If the organization is not working on collaboratively with each other and coordinating their efforts and with the sharing of information, right? So these are the important parts. Scenario that how if this problem will arise in your life, how you will solve it out. So we'll take the slides, we will see to it as a part of group discussion, right? So every candidate should be given and to share their opinion how they will sort it out. So this is the scenario. Interview panel discussion. So we are carrying an interview and we are taking in the panel only. We will take interview of multiple candidates at one point of time, and this is the another method. Problem on the particular topic of the particular problem, not the entire problem. topic, right? So this is the problem centric discussion that we carry forward as a part of method of group discussion for us. And conclusion is group discussion helps participants improve their ability and caliber that they have it before coming to the group discussion. But after that, they feel much more confident if some candidates is successfully convinced, right? So we should force the candidates, we should force our students to kind of practices on caliber, skill and confidence, right? So it helps to improve their abilities, and it also helps them to evaluate the various traits that every candidate is following. Not all, any one candidate is finding 2 or 3 traits out of this. Then I think it is as a to possess to successfully do your job or to successfully run your business. Right. So this is much important as well as part of innovative tools. Right. So this is all from the my side. So thank you so much for the patient listening. So now the stage is open for one. Please, you can post your queries for the session.
It's an open questionnaire round. Now you can ask if you have any queries, participants.
Any sort of query if you have it.
Hello, sir. I have a query.
Yep.
Uh, sir, biased. Sometimes we always have single opinion about a topic, right?
Yeah.
So everybody is individual, and he is having so there are chances of bias towards one side. So got my question.
Yeah, I got your question. This is first and foremost criteria that they should be biased. Right. And
Right.
second thing is you being a candidate, very candidates and very smart employees of our